Hey guys, welcome back to Garden Tower Defense. Today we are in here to test two units in a giant 1v1 battle. These units are Surgeroot, the new limited start unit, which acts a lot like the older unit Winterray Flower from the Christmas mystery trader, I think it was. So we are going to be testing these two units in an ultimate showdown in sandbox mode for this video. Then let's get right off to it. Alright, where's sandbox? Alright, still there. Well, has always been. Endless mode, sounds good. And we need a one-player lobby, of course. I do not want, like, 4 people in here messing up my tests. Alright. Come on, Dame. Load already. I think this picture is actually from in the lobby, not from the map, if I'm correct. Turn off auto spawning for sure. And add a ton of cash. That's all we really need at the moment. Alright, so I am going to be starting off with testing out the Surgeroot. So this is the new limited start. There's still a few in stock, and I would definitely recommend getting them if you have enough seeds saved up, because they seem pretty amazing. Alright, I have brought down the Surgeroot. So these units are more or less an electric, non-slowing Winterray Flower. So that is pretty amazing, and I will be testing them with the new Hydro Bloom Cannon later on in this video, just because of the wet effect it gives. Perfect. And we will probably start off by sending 5 Black Widow bosses. Oh, Tin Cobra. Looks cool. Maybe I'll send this. Oh, I think I'll just do the Black Widow as planned. Alright, speed this up. They might be a bit too close to each other. Wow, the Surgeroot's doing so much damage, guys. This unit is amazing. Look at them go. The Black Widows have absolutely no chance. Okay, so they tilt the Black Widows right around there. Alright, so I'm just going to get a tomato to mark the spot they killed it at. Oh gosh. Oh well, there it is. Got the tomato. So, right here. I can sell this DPS dummy again. And then I will do an upgraded tomato for how far it gets when I use the Hydro Bloom Cannon. So let's see how this goes. This unit will I will also test it on top of the Winterray Flower, not to make it unfair, but at the same time the Surgeroot benefits a lot more from having the Hydro Bloom Cannons than the Winterray, and that is what I want to show you guys in this video, how Surgeroot can stack with wet. Because in its description, also attacking enemies with an electricity chain. So, we better get testing. Alright, and I will send the same group of Black Widows once again. Here they come. And they're gonna be destroyed. Okay, yeah. They have no chance. It's actually not. Oh, but the single target damage. Okay, wow. They killed it around here. Looks good. So that is how well Surgeroot can do with a Hydro Bloom Cannon, but actually Now, if you set it on last, and you could more or less have like a PvP tiebreaker. This is another thing I find pretty amazing about this unit. If I now send 100 of these coming out every 5 seconds, say you would also have oranges in the corners of your map, like this, just have like a classic PvP setup. Oops, I went one too far. Why do I keep doing that? Alright, so you have these two oranges on closest, one here on first, and one here on right around. Come on, why is the orange not placing perfect? On random. Alright, so here you might have this in PvP. You have Orange, Surgeroot, and Hydro Bloom Cannon. Of course, you'd have 2 more units, but I definitely want to see how this does. If I now also change the Moth Overlords to have 3 speed and say 5 million health. Alright, go back and send it. See how this does in like a classic PvP setup. Okay, it's doing pretty amazingly, actually. Wow, okay, these things are destroying the stuff here. How much health did I... What? They've brought them down to that much health already? That is actually pretty amazing. Okay, this might be a really good strategy, actually, for PvP. If you now would add on... Say we add on a Luxio and our Tridanthras. There's a Luxio, and I'm going to take the Tridanthra too. Where is that unit? Got it? No, what? What? Tried. Okay, there, I got Tridanthra. Where can I place this unit? I think I will be placing the Luxio at like a spot I've used it before. You more or less have to place it on this end of the corner, not like the oranges, and then you can just have it maxed out. And you probably would have Tridanthras here in the corners on closest. At least that's how I always do this. Another Tridanthra here. Like, this would actually be a good PvP loadout. Also on closest. I'm not even doing it in a great way, but I still think this will work out well. And I will probably be putting this down like here on first. Let's do it for a PvP loadout. And I will be testing this once again against those Moth Overlords, except this time I'm gonna one-time speed it and see how this would do as like a PvP loadout. Come on, where are these Moth Overlords? Alright, here comes the first one. And, okay, it's done. Yeah, these things are so dead. Do one of these first. Alright. Another one now. Wait until this is down to 25. And another one. Alright, like this. I will just continue for a bit, and these Moth Overlords are being absolutely destroyed. It's pretty amazing, actually. I'm just down to set this on last. Last should work well with it. Alright. And do the tsunamis a bit. Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty strong. You would actually often be microing up your Luxio. You would probably want one of the Hydro Bloom Cannons. I can't reach it. Wait, where? There, I've got it on first, actually. First, perfect. And here we have it. Alright, these things are being destroyed by this loadout. I do not really see the lightning. Oh yeah, that white lightning's coming from the Surgeroots. Okay, that's pretty amazing actually. So this would be like a good PvP loadout. Though really all I want to test was how well does Surgeroot work. But yeah, guys, I think you should remember that loadout. So Surgeroot, Hydrobloom Cannon, Orangi, Luxio, and Tridenthra, okay? That was like the loadout that did really well. I think that would be great for PvP. I'm gonna put back my tomatoes marked where those got to, and now I'm testing the Winterray Flower. I'm excited to see how this goes. So that just goes right around there. Yeah, the range is a lot smaller than Surgeroot. That is one disadvantage they have. These things also fit pretty well into a PvP loadout. I will test them with the same loadout after. Alright, see what happens now if I send these 5 Black Widow bosses again. Alright, and how well will they do? Alright, they do a bit of slowing, but also a bit less damage. I mean, a bit more damage, it seems. They're doing really well, actually. Better than I would have expected it. So, actually, it did worse than the Surgeroot. I'll make this a level 3 tomato to market. And with Hydrobloom Cannon. And this really shows just how much a wet effect can be helping out in this situation. They will both be set on last. Why can I not reach this Hydrobloom Cannon? Alright, like that. And this was where they got to with the Surgeroot. Now, let's try the same thing with the Winterray Flower. See if it's better or worse. Alright. Okay, they are doing a lot of damage, and yet they will not die here. Oh yeah, they did that around here. Alright, so that means that the Winterray Flower is just ever so slightly worse than Surgeroot. Even if you stacked it up with Hydrobloom Cannon, it really is just a bit worse than Surgeroot. Like, guys, I think Surgeroot is just a better unit than Winterray Flower. Well, that will be it for the video, guys. So, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and like the video. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Take care, guys.